In this video, I'm going to show you the lead generation systems that we use to build multiple SaaS marketing agencies, from hitting 10k in monthly recurring revenue in 7 days to hitting over 340 active monthly paying clients in a single niche, but in a completely different niche from the 10k MRR. So we've done this multiple times. I'm going to show you the two different lead generation systems that we use. One is with sales calls for higher priced products, and one is without sales calls for automated sales. Now, this video is the third part of the SaaS Continuum series on my channel. Lead generation and making sales without sales calls is our bread and butter. We've been doing this for just under a decade now, and if I had to name one single aspect where we absolutely nail it, it's lead generation. In the first two videos of the series, I showed you this here, which is the automated SaaS Continuum. This is one of the structures that we use to scale a GoHighLevel SaaS Marketing Agency to 10k in monthly recurring revenue extremely quickly. This was the process. This was the offer that we sold. So if you haven't watched those videos, go back and watch them on my channel, then watch this one. It will make a lot more sense. Now, over the course of a few weeks, the lead generation system that we used booked 152 sales calls in about 14 days. This was after the scale to 10k mark in 7 days. So we scaled to 10k MRR in 7 days and then continued running the campaign, and it booked 152 calls in 14 days. Imagine the volume. That's quite a substantial amount of sales calls. The second method that we used in a completely different niche, completely unrelated, actually grew to 340 active monthly subscribers. With the second niche, we didn't use sales calls. So one with, one without. We use a ladder funnel, which is the Ascension framework. So you've got two lead generation systems or monthly recurring revenue builders that you can choose from based on your offer price and whether or not you want to do sales calls. So it's your choice, right? You can do either or. Now, these lead generation systems haven't just worked for me. They've worked for stacks of people. If you look at any of our material online, you're going to see over 100 reviews, and it shows how consistent our processes are. I mean, first of all, you have Mobin here, who closed $55,000 in a single day without any case studies. Mobin had no marketing experience. Mobin worked in a bank previously, in the corporate side, but wasn't in the agency space at all, yet transformed into someone who made $55,000 in a single day. Then you've got Trey, again, a great career in a different industry, no marketing experience in the marketing space, hit the 20k per month mark rapidly. Again, no case studies, no experience. Then you've got one of our members over here who had never made a sale online, had never booked a sales call using ads, hit 180 customers on autopilot with this process. Now, I tell you this to show you that it isn't just a one-trick pony. This system works over and over again. This is because it's all built on consumer psychology and in engineering an extremely specific format. If you learn how to generate leads or sales directly like this, you can run any offer that you want to. It doesn't really matter. You can run anything. You just have to learn this system, and then you can take it to any market that you want. So let's have a look at the first method first. This is the direct call booking funnel. So you've got your traffic sources, your opt-in, you've got your asset-backed qualification funnel, which contains a video sales letter, and then you've got your sales call, and then the close over here. And of course, falling out of these processes, you've got some reactivation sequences and nurture to get, if the person falls off the straight line to the close, this straight line to a close, they're nurtured back onto the straight line in a loop. So that is the direct call booking funnel. So if you want sales calls, this is what you should do. Now, we do use AI to create these funnels and also the video sales letter that goes with it. Call booking funnels do pretty much as they say on the box. They book phone calls, they book sales calls. However, the magic in all of this is all in the video sales letter. It's how it's built. The video that you see on a call booking page, a call booking funnel, it follows an extremely specific formula that says the right things at the right time. That's key, the right things at the right time. So with the SaaS Continuum process, you will notice that I used a framework, which was the Continuum process, the top producer system. This was for the insurance market. And as I said, I called it the top producer system. I didn't describe different services. I didn't describe database reactivation or Google reviews or any of this. I didn't describe any service. I didn't even describe LinkedIn marketing, which is part of the process. But I called it the top producer system, and I positioned it as this ecosystem, right? Why did I do this? Because it creates clarity and a direct solution. So rather than trying to think if a database reactivation process is the right fit for them, or LinkedIn campaigns, which the reality is they all have preconceived notions about these things. So I don't want to be battling against this, right? I want to be my own world. So I focus on the system itself. So all they have to do is think, does this system that is being described, does it fit my business? It becomes tangible at this point, and this is the secret. It allows you to stand out, basically, because they associate and connect the system rather than the different marketing methods. If you're in a position where they're considering the different marketing methods, you're then lumped in with every other person out there trying to close them, every other person. Whereas if you have a unique mechanism, it works a lot better. Now, these video sales letters, if you don't build them right, they're not going to convert. They have to say the right thing at the right time. And this is an idea of what one looks like here. So you basically have your headlines and you have your calendar. You can put your calendar in here if you want to, or a button to your calendar, and the video goes in here. Now, these videos are built for consumer attention and decision or inflection points. We have angles built for the fast decision maker who can, I'll just move myself here, for the fast decision maker who can understand what the process is all about within 3 minutes and then wants to book their call. We've got angles for the person who needs social proof or understanding with nurture. We've got angles for the person who lives by the numbers, is more analytical and wants to see what it looks like. And finally, we have angles for the person who wants to connect with us as a brand, as a business, and build that relationship before booking that call. So we're not losing prospects, we're capitalizing, because all I'm doing is repositioning the information, the same information, but for a different consumer psychology. I'm just optimizing my sales funnel, and that's the secret. It's not a 17-minute video with brand new information. I'm repeating the same information, just in different formats for different types of people. And that's the key. You have to do it that way or it won't work. Now, the secret behind this is that we have built an AI system that can take any offer, and create the scripting and the slide deck for the VSL and even the funnel in this exact format. As I said, the format is key, right? You've got to say the right things at the right time. Well, instead of getting that wrong every time or having variables, what we do is we have AI systems built out that produce it instantly for us in the same format every single time. And it has been trained on the way I would write. So I've got a bit of a knack for it. As I said, lead generation is our bread and butter. We know what we're doing in this space. So I wanted it to sound as if I was writing it every time. So if you were to use that system, it's almost like having me in your back pocket writing all the content for you. That's the power of it. Now, the second way to generate leads is the ladder funnel, which works with the Ascension framework. So the ladder funnel here, this is your traffic source here, all your traffic sources, whatever you please, could be anything, right? TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you please, any traffic mechanism. You then have your intro product. You've got an order bump, and an intro product is normally about $7 to $27. You've got an order bump. You've got your software in here, and then you have nurture campaigns. And if you want to have a high ticket product in the back end, you can. Why? Because these are warm audiences once they get to this point. So it will sell a lot better. You have a lot better clients. The ladder funnel is built around the direct sale process. We don't take sales calls with this, and we stack monthly recurring revenue. The ladder funnel works by bringing prospects in with an introductory offer that builds the trust, and it solves the next problem or the immediate problem for the business owner. And then the SaaS, the software in here, solves the problem that the intro product creates. So think about this. If this was a lead generation system, which is one of my favorites, then we're solving the problem of lead generation. Now, if they want to implement this system, usually I will build that product around a sales funnel or something like that, or some automations or something similar. And that creates the problem of, okay, I'm excited. I want to implement this system. What do I do? Well, we can take all that pain away from you, because we can give you the software, but we can also plug the system using snapshots into your account. So it will speed this process up. Again, makes complete sense. We don't want to just sell software. I'm not just plunking the software here and trying to sell it. No, I'm connecting it together. But I'll get onto that in a few minutes. This works incredibly well, and it allows you to run paid ads at a break even daily. Now, why would you want to break even daily? Well, let's look at this. After I move myself again, because I'm all over the place. If you could bring in 100 new monthly paying clients per month and it costs you nothing, every single month after the first month is pure profit. So you don't have any customer acquisition cost. You can build your monthly recurring revenue at no cost. So you can play the game of paid ads, which is incredibly scalable without the risk, without the expense, without the investment. And when you can get into the paid ads world with a working system, a well-engineered system like this, getting new clients becomes a lot easier. They essentially come to you. The person who can spend the most wins, right? Well, if you engineer a system, a paid ad system, to not cost you anything, you can just keep it going and going and going and going without limit. You get this right once, you'll never ever look back. You don't need to chase people. It's magnetic at this point. Now, one element to consider here is the lifetime value. Based on average metrics, we know that if we bring in a subscriber, the average customer lifetime value condensed over a 12-month period, so I'm not looking at the whole lifetime, I'm condensing this down into 12 months, is $1,500. So that could be $97 a month subscriber, $1,500 lifetime value. It could be $47, whatever you please. The key is understanding the lifetime value. Now, as we build to 340 subscribers, watch how this explodes. Imagine the impact it has, not just on monthly recurring revenue, but if you are to bring on 340 subscribers, that's $500,000 in an automated system in 12 months. You haven't really had to do too much. All you had to do was get that number, and that number is fed out over the course of the year. That's the beauty of it, right? You get 100, which isn't that hard to do. 100 is not that difficult. It's 150K. And you're not having to work with clients. You're not having to do anything. It's very passive. It's very automated. And if you want to do a high ticket to boost that even further, you can, because you've got the warm pipeline. You've got 100 people paying you monthly that are building the trust. That's the secret. So the lifetime value condensed over 12 months is massive. It makes it well worth it. Every customer is worth so much more. Now, the secret with this funnel is connection and context. In my other videos, I always talk about never, ever selling the features and the benefits or the tools of the software, and always selling a concept that solves their immediate problem. I like to solve the lead generation problem because business owners always have this problem. Every day they wake up, they have the same problem. So I would build an introductory product around a lead generation system that uses a sales funnel and AI with database reactivation built into it as well, simply for profit boosting. I'm not really selling that. I'm using it for profit boosting. I would give them this concept for $7 or $27, as I mentioned earlier. A crazy good deal, right? They get the lead gen system for $27. Then instead of just selling software, I'd position the software as a tool to make the lead generation process that they've just invested in. So they've just bought the lead gen system, make it easier and faster to implement and build that system with, of course, the snapshots imported. And I'm also connecting the software with the intro product. This means that instead of buying it, getting overwhelmed and leaving, which is a very common problem in any industry, and especially in the SaaS space too, the prospect has a purpose. I tell them to basically ignore every other feature and benefit on the platform, every tool, and I put them through a very simple onboarding step-by-step process where they can start building. Now, remember what I always say, usage means retention. So I'm getting them to invest time on the software building their system, which drastically increases the retention rates. If you throw up an intro product and then you try and sell the software, so you just have a random intro product, then you try and just sell the software as it is, you may get a few sales, but it's not going to hit the benchmark numbers that we're looking for. You must connect the vision. This is the most important aspect of the ladder funnel, connection. I want to create the problem of, okay, I've just purchased a $7 lead generation system or $27 lead gen system. I'm excited. It says it's a solution to my problem. I want to build this. I want to implement it. I want to put it into action. I bought it. I'm ready to go. But I want it to go faster. I would love it if it was just built for me, right? So we then solve that problem. That's a problem. They want it built for them. They want it built faster. Problem created. We solve that problem with the software. The other problem we solve is you need a sales funnel builder to build any website or sales funnel. And they need to do that. They need email autoresponders. The price, the cost stacks up for those things. So it's a secondary problem is the money they save, but it's an additional element or additional angle that I will go for. So when it comes down, and of course, we've got the usage when it comes to retention. So the more time we can spend with the user on the platform, the more time they invest on the platform, the better your retention is going to be. So we want to give them a guided step-by-step onboarding, keeping it very, very simple. We want to give them focused implementation and practical application, of course, how they actually put it into action. And then, of course, if you want to give demos on it as well to get them to use the platform, you can. And this is where little emails that show them different features or different things they could do on the platform really come into play. And it's very helpful at this point. Now, when it comes down to selecting your lead generation system, so you've got the call booking funnel and you've got the ladder funnel. Which one do you choose? Well, both of them work really, really well. If your price is above $297 per month, go for the call booking funnel, right? That's the protocol. And this is where they use sales calls. Now, an important point here, if you're at the $297 a month mark, you may as well go to $1,000 a month, because if you're going to be doing sales calls, you don't want to be doing it for $297. 1,000 is a much better number to be doing sales calls for. So I would actually not get stuck in that price point. I would increase the prices. If your product is below 147, you can use a ladder funnel with direct sales. Now, don't make the mistake of getting stuck between 147 and say 297 or anything in that realm. Those price points are harder to sell. The retention is weaker. 97 is a sweet spot. If you want to ascend users to 297 or 497, so people who are on the platform who already have a use for the platform, they want more features, more benefits, more access to you, maybe whatever it is. If you want to then ascend them, sure, it will work because your retention is going to be strong because they've already got a use for the platform. They're using it and they're investing more into it. So that's okay. But if you were to sell 297, 497 cold, the churn rate is going to be really high. So it's not going to be worth your time. So I would avoid getting stuck in that price point unless you are going to the 1,000 where you're going to do sales calls or you're ascending a warmer audience. So that's how you choose. Now, both of these models work really well, but you must follow the golden rules. You've got to have consistency across the board. So you must follow the same process throughout from a call booking funnel all the way to the ladder funnel. It has to look and feel the same. Why? Because they're proven, right? We don't want to be adding variables into this. Do what works. You've also got to focus on problem solving. So we're not just selling bells and whistles. We are solving problems with the prospect. And of course, data driven. So we live and breathe by the numbers. I'm looking at the data all the time. I'm looking at my conversion metrics and I'm making adjustments. If you change these other elements, the data means nothing because we've got nothing to benchmark it from, right? If you add variables in, the benchmarks that we have don't make any sense. So you must keep it the same. Do what works is the key. Don't spend time trying to reinvent the wheel. Just do what works. Now, your next steps. Your next steps are to choose your system, right? You've got your different price points, the different reasons to choose which lead gen system that you go for. Choose your system. Choose the one that best fits you. If you have questions about it, leave it in the comments below and I will answer. You have to implement it correctly, so follow the process. Don't reinvent the wheel. You've got to be continuously learning, which is updating your data and making sure that you're optimizing. And of course, focus on problem solving. If there's anything you remember from this video, remember this. Focus on problem solving. Problem solving means your products or services are going to sell because they solve problems. If you just have want-based products, they're not going to sell or they're going to, especially in economic volatility, they're not going to sell because there's less demand for it. Focus on solving problems and you'll have much, much more success. So any questions, let me know below. I'm considering doing a breakdown of each funnel. Let me know if you'd find this beneficial. But as ever, like this video. If you enjoy the content, let me know. It helps guide my content for future. And of course, subscribe to the channel for all new releases and the next video that I'm going to release.